watching Prime Morning. It's time for us to delve into what the newspapers have for us. And of course, my guests are seated for this morning. We know that the NPP went to polls on Saturday, 26th of August, with the Super Delegate Conference, where they selected 5 who will compete in November to elect one to become their flag bearer. They have 6 as opposed to 5 that they have to have. Whether they will decide on going with all the 5, but the Constitution says the Constitution says 5. So will they go with the 6? Will they have a conversation? Or will they actually go to the polls again? Well, we don't know, but we are yet to know what the party will decide on. On the ticket of the NPP this morning is Jesse Boako. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Rosie.
How are you today?
Very fine.
I know you are very happy.
I'm very happy, and my brother Richard is happy as well.
Is he?
Yes, because we held a very successful special electoral college, and Ghanaians all over the world, even they've applauded the NPP for setting up the pace. I believe the NDC did see, but they couldn't become of success of what the NPP did. So we thank the New Patriotic Party and the Ghanaians for supporting us. Okay.
On the ticket of the NDC, they have been saying that they really want Bawumia to become the flag bearer of the NPP so they can go ahead and use him during their campaign to be able to come back into power in 2024. Representing the NDC this morning is Richard Manurubi. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, my beautiful Rosie.
How are you?
Good.
Did you sleep well?
Not at all.
Oh, sorry.
I was sad. So
why are you sad?
Sleepless nights. Good morning. Let me say good morning to your viewers and the good people of Nkwantasa from the region. And His Excellency John Dramani Mama say anytime I come, I say good morning. The incoming President of the Republic of Ghana, as Ghanaians are hoping, as the Ghana want to build that way, hoping that come January 2025, we'll be swearing His Excellency John Dramani Mama as the President of the Republic of Ghana. So we'll rebuild a country that is collapsed, we'll rebuild the banks that is collapsed, we'll rebuild everything that make Ghana better. Personally, I'm very sad, and it's so terrible to me because we in NDC has built a democracy to the Fourth Republic of Ghana with next democracy. We've supported the 1992 Constitution, and we respect ordinary Ghanaians, whether NDC or MPP. So that is why there are political parties that have to come and run elections and elect a flag bearer. But also, what happened in the MPP Delegate Congress? I'm so sad. If you see my colleague Ghanaians that they have been beaten, brutalized. I mean, they are Ghanaians, they have been brutalized. And if you hear people say they have been intimidated, people were sacked from the polling stations, and flag bearers were crying foul to run some others down. It's terrible. I don't think we should those.
Is there any flag bearer?
Flag bearer aspirants were running around helter skelter, and their agents were sacked. Some of them were locked up. And
isn't it 2 or was it 1? Was one flag bearer hopeful that we saw video, right?
Oh, Canada Japan was crying foul.
He's the one.
Alan Kojo Chamanti and his people were also crying foul.
We didn't see Alan himself.
No, but his supporters were crying foul.
Okay, the supporters.
And some of the agents were brutalized. I mean, we don't do that as a country.
How many agents did you brutalize?
Bobby, have you seen that? Some of the agents were brutalized all over social media.
I saw one person.
So you saw one person. So it's a Ghanaian. In America, one American died, it's affected the whole America. And I think that this must stop. I think that let's build a democracy of consensus and let it be nice. You know, the NDC, you know what we do? I fully advise the MPP that they should learn from us. So I'm really sad as a Ghanaian, and I don't think
when
this
you
should
were
go
having
as
your
a Ghanaian.
elections,
and it's terrible.
There was
it's
no
really,
brutality.
really terrible. Did you hear any injury? Did you hear any brutality? I'm sad as a Ghanaian. I mean, let it go. I mean, that's what the Ghana.
Sad this morning.
That's what Ghana want to do.
So you are sad during the.
That's what the Ghana.
Richard Manurubi says he's sad. Well, when they went to the polls, the NPP, the Bawumia, how do you call yourselves? How do you call it? Is Bawumia factor or Bawumia must win?
Bawumia must win.
Bawumia must win camp.
Yes.
Was hoping to get 70% of the vote. However, they didn't get it. But they're still saying that the percentage they got is good enough. They got a 68.1%. And we have Honorable Alan Chematin, who came third with a 10.82%. In the second place, which shocked everybody because people were thinking that the second place would be Honorable Alan Chematin, which didn't happen, was Kennedy Ejapong. Now this man came strong and got 15.03%. Quite surprising, isn't it? But we always say fear delegates. Now we come to the other two that have been tied. And the question is, will they go back to the polls, or they'll have a conversation with these two? Probably one will step down, or the two will decide to step down and permit the other three to go forward. These persons are in the persons of Francis Adainimo and Boache Trematin Ejako. They got 1.03% of the vote cast. Jesse, let me start this conversation with you. Your general impression on the elections.
Okay, so let me say good morning to our viewers once again, and to the hard-working President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and also the hard-working Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia. Last Saturday, the election was very, very successful. I mean, in every election, definitely there is going to be one or two incidents here and there.
Before you continue, I haven't read the newspapers. I'm so much into the topics this morning. Please pardon me. Let me quickly read the newspapers before we delve into the topics. Please pardon me. I'll start off with the Daily Analyst newspaper. Daily Analyst, NPP Superdelegates Bawumia sails through with ease. Kenny Japan pulls big surprise. Alan falls. Editorial, Ejako Adainimo ran off not necessary. I've not diverted public items for personal use. Bibiani MCE clears the air. They were sharing money at the party headquarters. Angry Hobson Adoye fires Chief of Staff and Kate Jimfua. The Ghanaian Publisher newspaper is next. Bawumia clears first hurdle. NPP moves to stop Ken's arrogance. BOG governor deputies did no wrong, says PNM, and I don't know if it's Dan Paris style. Angry minister slams conduct of police, and that's Mrs. Justina Marigold Asan. We'll do the Daily Graphic newspaper next. Daily Graphic, NPP Superdelegates Conference. 4 crews into November 4th ran off to decide last lot. Sorry, I initially said it was 3, but they're actually 4 because Dr. Owusu-Efri Yakuto was the 4th person before we have the other 2 who are vying into the 5th position. So please pardon me, please. November 4th, crucial, political scientist says so. World Bank grants $27.7 million consensuary funds to NHIS, and Otunfor to help raise $10 million for CATH, that is Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. Our final newspaper is a Daily Guide newspaper. Lucy Blay, others win 550,000 Ghana cedis SC grants. Showdown, meltdown. Ken faces disciplinary committee. I don't know when he will face them, but he is facing. It's not just him and 4 others. Bawumia sweeps NPP votes with 629. Jogate Kwabne Japong out. Man killed in Juju gunshot test, and of course I saw that video. I don't know if any of you have seen that video. Hey, we play with our lives, so anyway, we continue. Another story here is not over for Alan. Okay, so Alan's fans are saying it's not over for him. Well, that'll be all for the newspapers. But this Juju thing, I've seen the video. I was too surprised. We can't play it on TV.
Were they experimenting on how?
Yes. So one man gets the gun, and then so 2 of them go stand and they hold each other's hand and they shoot.
Wow.
And they shot one. And he died on the spot. Let's continue.
Murder.
No, it's manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, it's not murder. It's manslaughter.
The Brigadier slaughter.
Anyway, so their faces are there. So bad. Anyway, Jesse, you were making a point.
Yeah, so I think for now, Richard is the only Ghanaian who is sad in this country. Out of the 34 million Ghanaians this morning, for the first time, it is only Richard I'm hearing the sad comment from, because MPP has set the pace. Looking at where we started the election from the Presidential Election Committee, headed by Professor Aaron Maikwekwe, the guidelines, the General Secretary Justin Kodria Frimpong also played a very instrumental in this election. I mean, when it comes to election and MPP, we believe in transparency, we believe in democracy, we believe in fairness, unlike the NDC, where when Mr. John Dramani Mahama was contesting for the election. Kojo Bonsu and others were intimidated not to even contest for the election. At a point in time, Dr. Kwabena Dufour need to draw back because the intimidation, the fear and panic on aspirants were too much. The NPP believe in fairness. 10 aspirants. I mean, looking at what transpired at all 17 polling centers, it is very incredible. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, from day one, has shown the way. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has campaigned with decency. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaigned on message. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is someone who will not attack or insult anyone. And the delegates rewarded Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for this hard work. Out of the 927 votes was cast, 4 was rejected. We had 1 in Bono East, Ahafo, and 2 in Savannah region. Out of that, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was able to secure 629 votes, representing 68.13. I mean, this is very incredible. The party was looking for 5 people, but at the end of the day,
you have 6.
We had 6. Mr. Adai Numo and Honorable Chairman Ejako. Yes. So there was a press conference last week, Saturday, rightly after the election, and the decision was that next week, Saturday, there's going to be a runoff. There's going to be a fresh election for the 2 candidates. Assuming from
was it a final decision? Because from what was said, it was also said that you know, the party executives are going to have a conversation with these 2 men, hoping that one will drop out so they don't have to go to the polls.
So it was addressed by the chairman of the Presidential Election Committee, Professor Hiram Michael Quay. I was there myself. The decision was that from Monday to Friday, if any of the candidates fail to drop, then there's going to be a fresh election next week, Saturday. And looking at their votes, 9 votes each, representing 0.98. I mean, they should come to a consensus whether who will step down or who will go. The most important thing is we are looking at 2024 election, and we know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to win again in the November 4th election, and will continue to win the main election next year. My brother was talking about brutalities. I'm surprised. When you mention brutalities, you never said what happened, what exactly transpired before all those things happened. You said Mr. Kennedy Japan was seen on camera shouting, the agent was chased out. What did the agent do? I've not seen anyone asking those questions. These are some of the questions. You've been there before.
Explain.
You've been there before. You've contested for parliamentary election on 3 occasions. I think you can know better than trying to deceive
I think
the public.
with that,
yes.
You know, it's not even about deceiving.
Okay.
There's a video out there that we've all been a witness to.
Yeah, I understand.
Where we saw Honorable angry, you know, saying that he will bring down the government, and because of that, he's going to face the disciplinary committee, which is a very good thing, because nobody is above the law.
Yes.
But we saw this video. To get to the bottom of it, we will. As of now, nothing has been said.
Yeah.
We also know that Chemawun, to me, has granted an interview where he actually did say that it was one man who kept on giving the information to Kennedy Japan with regards to his agent.
Yeah, that's a third party. A third party information.
But there wasn't much happening on the ground. So we are yet to get to the bottom of it. As far as everybody is concerned, Kennedy says his agent was chased out. We'll definitely get to the bottom of it. Once he gets to the disciplinary committee, he will say what actually happened. And definitely we'll get to the bottom.
Yes, I like that.
No, but I just want to correct him that Alan Kojo Chiramanti's agent in Northeast was beaten up. You know, you are aware.
Okay, you let him land. Please.
Okay, so this is the same thing that I'm saying, that you are quick to judge that someone was beaten, but you are very reluctant to explain to Ghanaians exactly what happened before the person was beaten. According to reports, the person tried to stop someone who he believes is a Bawumia or Kennedy fan. So after voting, you need to drop your ballot in the ballot box. So the person tried to prevent that incident, and definitely you can't do that. In a democratic election, you can't prevent someone from voting. You need to allow...
That's law.
What?
That's law.
Yes, but you need to allow...
The police station report.
Oh, it's not about going to the police station. It's about doing the right thing.
Okay.
It's about doing the right thing. We've heard comment from my senior brother Hobson Adoye. That is fake news. It is fake. Ghanaians should not take.
He's going to face the disciplinary committee.
Yes, but those are wild allegations.
Let him get there, and then we'll get to know if he has his facts or not, because yes, we might sit here and say it's an allegation. Yes, what if he gets there and he proves something? And until then,
I was there. I was on the compound myself with Hobson when the chief of staff entered the premises of the MPP headquarters and asked to whether she shared money. It is not true.
Okay.
Nothing of that sort happened.
All right, let me bring Richard into the conversation.
This is a very good platform this morning. I'm just happy just to work with you. He's not very good friend actually, and then he's a lead crusader of Bawumia must win.
Yeah, he's part of it.
No, he's not part of it. He's a lead crusader.
Let me land finally.
Oh,
I'll let
you come in. No, I know what it's about. Give me 30 seconds and I'll claim.
Which one?
Richard, let him say what he wants to say.
You had your time.
Richard, let's pardon him.
I know the answer. No, just 30 seconds.
Gentlemen.
An opportunity to wear about that.
Wait.
No, you're not the fair.
No, I know. I'll give you enough time. Don't worry. You know we have just started the show.
You are doing damage control. I've not even started.
Let him say what he wants to say, so that you probably what he will say will get you to say.
I know what he wants to say.
So you say.
Okay. So last Saturday, rightly after the election, there was a letter circulating on social media.
But you haven't even said anything.
Hold on. There was a letter circulating on social media with the letterhead Bawumia must win, with some figures allocated to chairman, regional executive, and constituency executive coordinators, polling station. It is never true. As president of Bawumia must win, this morning on Joy Prime TV, I'm telling the general public that nobody should take that letter serious. It is fake.
But was it your signature on the letter?
It is not my signature. They just cooked something.
So who clicked it up?
Surprisingly, this is the 9th time people of this caliber try to damage the image of the group and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as well. It is not good for our democracy.
So you are the chairman?
I'm the president.
The president.
I'm the president.
So you signed it?
I've never signed anything.
But who will do that to you?
No, it's been happening. This is not the first time.
Wow.
This is not the first time.
But
yes, I'm here.
Did you agree with me that you have agenda 90% win?
It was 70 actually.
No, it was agenda 90.
When they came here, they were on this show.
This is the president. We are talking the right person. Did you agree with me that you have agenda 90% win?
Well, at the end of the day, let's look at the margin. 629. I think it's fine.
It's fine. But Richard, please, you have your time. Please go ahead and make your point. Yes.
The NPP has gone for their Super Delegates Congress, but what Ghanaians must know is they have to select the first 5 of them now going to the 4th November to elect a flag bearer. Obviously, I will every day and any time support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to become a flag bearer with the NPP. Yes, number one, I know him too well. I know Dr. Bawumia too well, and I believe that he will win this. And I wish him well, and I'll campaign for him. When he has time and he's going to a tour, he should invite me. I will join the campaign team. We're going to campaign for him to be elected as a flag bearer of the NPP, so that the Ghanaians and ordinary Ghanaian will not take a clear decision of the 2 million vote difference. That's what we are looking at. So we wish him well. We believe that. But I'm so sad.
But what makes the NDC think that if Dr. Bawumia becomes a flag bearer, it's an easy win for them?
It's a simple comparison.
How?
The 2 northerners are going. We'll go to the northern region and look at it. We'll come to Ashanti and look at it.
But let's look at how even the northern region voted for Dr. Bawumia. Hands down.
No, they voted for him hands down. Who are those people that voted for him hands down? One time, a member of parliament who served in a committee, who served in a board, will reject his boss. You know the time a regional chairman who has be coming to the vice presidency and take contract will reject his boss? Or you want to tell me that a minister of state who sits in cabinet with his boss will reject his boss? Rosalind, if you are contesting any elections in media, I will vote for you because you're my friend. I will vote for you because you're my boss on Joy Prime. So that one, it's not a win. It is just, and this one was a celebrated voted vote, and that's why we're going to come there. So
yeah, I was going to ask you, yes, but you continue.
Yeah, so the Super Delegate Congress that the MPP had, I mean, it's democratical way of them doing it. But I just want to correct my brother Jesse Wako that as a standard, I just want to thank Ghana Police Service for the good job they have done. If had not because of Ghana Police Service, that there will have been war on these particular elections, because looking at what happens.
So I want English words.
So I want to urge them and advise them that they should copy the NDC, they should copy the way we conduct our elections, and then come November 2020, come November, it will be so hard than we see, because this one just will elect 5, and so now they now want to elect 1, and so you should look at what is happening. So the Ghana Police have IGP Dampare is still starting the security on that day, and I pray that this country will need peace. I pray that this country want to build a democracy, but listen, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said it is possible. Canada Japan said he can do it. Koto said he's planning for food, he's now planning for billboards.
Alan says
so. But at the end of the day, we need a responsible opposition leader. That is my prayer.
Is the NDC scared of Canada Japan?
We are not scared of anybody. We are not scared of anybody. I'm telling you, we want a responsible opposition leader. And I think that for us to rule this country for 20 years, we will need Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be an opposition leader, because nobody will take him serious. Yes, so yes, no, which Ghanaian will take him?
Do you know what you're saying?
I know what I'm saying.
You know the effect of what you're saying.
Yes, nobody will take him serious, because I'm coming there. Jesse Boko sitting here, my good brother, very nice young man with future, knows. He has run with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I know them very well. They've gone through the villages. He knows what is happening in the villages. He knows what is happening in Bunkuru. He knows what is happening in Nalergu. He knows what is happening in Yoyo. He knows what is happening in Larbanga. He knows what is happening in Palaba. He knows. And you spend a whooping amount of money, over 70 million Ghana cedi.
It is not true.
To do what?
To win elections?
It is not true.
How do you know that he spent 70 million?
This is a document. This is an authentic document.
It is not true.
Look at it.
I'm saying it is fake.
Over 70 million Ghana cedi.
This is fake.
But
this is BMW.
Wait,
this is Bawumia Mastwin.
Yes.
I'm the president.
That's the president.
But I'm saying it is fake.
70 million.
My brother, it is fake.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Sure. All right.
So the president
who typed the letter?
Wait.
Who signed the letter?
President says
I've never signed any letter.
This is not true.
It is not true.
So if president is saying it, how then do we say that it's
true?
Sometimes
this letter here is not my letter here, though.
Richard,
it is his letter here.
When it gets to elections, people can create all sorts of things.
This is not.
No, because if we didn't have the president here,
yes.
If we didn't have the president here, then we could say that, maybe it's true, or we'll get to the president to get to the bottom of it. But the president is here.
It says confidential document.
He will not tell you
that. It's not true.
The law says it's not true. We cannot say it's true. We have to take what he's saying.
When you're making a comment, I just kept Roslyn, give me the next 5 minutes to just flow. Roslyn.
Why? You still have 5 minutes?
Just 1 minute.
Hope's Nadoye.
Less than.
Roslyn, Hope's Nadoye is telling us that the chief of staff. Do you know who is the chief of staff? Constitutionally, they don't have chief of staff. It's a friend of the president. So it means a chief of staff is the president confidant. Has brought sack of money.
Did you see it?
It is Hope that said it. He's a staunch member of the MPP.
But that's why he's going to the committee.
You know I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Personally, if people can't get food to eat, people can't get water to drink. And instead of you promising that people want this one factory.
Okay.
Instead of you promising that people want village one dam.
Let me ask my next question. I'll let you come in. But my next question has to do with the results that came out.
But Rosie, let me just land. In a minute.
No, you are done. So looking at the kind of results that came in, we see that, Dr. Bawumia, the projection was to get a 70 plus. We had a conversation with Honorable Fusaini Isa, who said the projection was 70% plus. However, you didn't get the 70% plus. Also, people are also of the opinion that looking at the kind of numbers that came in, November 4th will not be an easy run for you, because people think that looking at the system, quote unquote, the system, the people in positions were the ones who voted. And of course, looking at Dr. Bawumia, he's the vice president. So why vote against the vice president? So they voted for him. But when it comes to the grassroots, which is probably like 80% of the delegates, then you have an issue here, because even with the people who are supposed to be in higher places could not give you a 90%, then the delegates will be difficult for you to get probably a 50%. What do you think about
it? Yes, so it is true. Most of the people who voted are government appointees, and some are executives of the party. But the grassroots believe in the ideas, the visions and ideologies of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I've heard people say, over and over that on 4th November, about 80% of the delegates are not happy with the current system. Those are perceptions. It is not fact. The truth of the matter is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has performed well as vice president, and we know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will perform better and will go ahead to perform excellent when he becomes president of the republic. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has remained with the grassroots for some time now. I mean, solving some of the challenges of the grassroots, attending to their needs, functions, and a whole lot. I mean, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is someone who is very committed to the MPP project, is very committed to the government project. So if people say on 4th November we are not going to get about 80 or 90%, it is not true. The delegates believe in us. We've told the whole country, all the 16 regions, every region that will go, no Bawumia, no vote. And these are the voice of the grassroots.
It's also believed that Kennedy Japan is more for the grassroots. When you look at the kind of work that he's done, projections says that, you know, when we talk about grassroots, it is Kennedy Japan. Now, he gave you a run for your money. He pulled a surprise where he pulled, you know, 132 votes.
Yes.
Quite surprising, because, again, the government appointees, executives, where you think that will not even vote for this man, 132 out of them voted for this man. So if you go to the grassroots, then there's even going to be a bigger problem. You agree?
I don't see it to be a problem. You know, Mr. Kennedy Japan is always vocal when it comes to issues of the party. He say it as it is. He doesn't miss words when it comes to critical issues concerning the party. Some are of the view that this is what the party wants. Some, not all, some. You know, we have people who like people who are the action type. I mean, they will take a little action. People like it that way. And people also believe, no, where we've gotten to as a country, we don't need those things. Back in the days, during Mr. Rawlings' era, the military rule and those things, people are not happy about that until ex-President Kufuor came from 2001.
But democracy took over at a point
democracy
in time.
took over at a point in time. But
so we know the military rule didn't last for that long.
It didn't last.
That's why we don't have to make that kind of comparison. You know what I mean?
People don't like those, I mean, mafia tactics.
But this is the case where they are voting for Kennedy Japan.
It's a mafia?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that where we've got into as a country, the work the New Patriotic Party has done from 2017 till date, and next year will continue. We want to continue what President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has done. A lot of the things that was done under ex-President Kufuor's time, when the NDC came, they cancelled it. Example was the free maternal care. They cancelled it completely. So we believe that most of the social interventions...
But have you brought it back?
Say again?
Have you brought it back?
We've modified.
Okay.
We've modified. So most of the things that was done...
Because you've been in power for 7 years.
Yeah, we've been in power for 7 years.
So if somebody cancelled it, you just bring it back?
Not just bringing it back.
What is modification?
Hold on. We need to we need to look at the whole system so that it will play.
7 years down the line?
Yeah, 7 years down the line. I mean, we've done a lot, Rosalie, when it comes to...
the only reason why I'm asking is because you tell them they cancelled it. So when you come back, you just restore it.
Oh, but we've done a lot of transformation.
If not, you just don't talk about it.
Oh, there's a lot of...
They cancelled it.
Rosalie,
so if I give you food, and somebody comes and takes the food from you, when I come back, the only thing is I give you food because I told you that, let's take the food from you. So let me give you back the food.
Perfect.
But if you come back and you tell me that, now you are not going to eat 3 times a day, but I've come back, so I'll give you once a day. It's modification.
Yeah, so the government has been able to provide a lot of incubators, hospital equipment. Hold on, please. Hospital equipment. And I mean, we've made the system very easy for our pregnant women and all those things. Is that free? I mean, it's at a cost.
Okay.
It is at a cost, but I mean,
so you didn't bring it back. You just modified it.
The NHIS is working and is taking care of some operations, and I mean, let's applaud the government for that. But what we are saying is that Mr. Ejapon has been with the party. He's been with the grassroots. People like his style, but the majority of the MPP delegates are yearning for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Should I put a polls out there? I did it on my status, and it was quite interesting. I think you actually saw it. You saw it. Were you surprised at the results that were coming in?
Well, I'm not surprised because you've also studied what is happening in the NPP and you made your own analysis. I don't maybe whether you be the next Benefsin or
Richard, you didn't have the opportunity to see it, so I'll tell you a bit. Probably I'll put it out there. So I told them that I told them your identity will be secured, so you can go ahead and do it. And the question was, if Dr. Bawumia becomes the flag bearer of the NPP, will you vote for the NPP? If Honorable Alan Kojo-Martin becomes the flag bearer of the NPP, will you vote? If Honorable Kennedy Agyapong becomes the flag bearer of the NPP, will you vote for them? Then I moved on to say, are you changing power in 2024? The next question was, what was the next question? Help me out. I think the next question was, okay, if Dr. Bawumia makes Samia Awuku his running mate, will you vote for the NPP? Quite interesting. The kind of results that came. I was quite surprised that not even one person said they'll vote Dr. Bawumia if he's the flag bearer of the NPP. I was too surprised. Were you surprised?
That's social media. Social media.
But it's the masses.
Yeah, they are the masses. But ask yourself, how many people like the polls? We need to get it right, whether we are using qualitative or quantitative to measure the sample size.
But that's not a research.
Please hold on.
Don't be deceiving the public.
Those are opinion polls. Opinion polls are research. Yes, they are research.
So you out there, let me ask you the question too. Send your messages to us. Who will you vote for if the person is the flag bearer of the NPP? Will you vote if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia becomes the flag bearer of the NPP? Will you vote NPP in 2024? If it's Honorable Alan Kojo-Martin, will you vote NPP? If it's Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, will you vote NPP? Or it doesn't matter, you are changing party in 2024. Let's hear your voice this morning. I'll send the polls to my producers and see if they can project it this morning for them to see, because I promised identity being hidden. Anyway, you want to you've said a lot. Let Richard come in.
Rosalie, see, there's something you should know. The party headquarters of the NPP, 32 of the party headquarters said they don't like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they like Kennedy Agyapong.
Quite surprising.
Yes. And so you should also know that the vote Kennedy Agyapong and other people polled are party people who are not happy with the government. But party people who are enjoying from the government vote for this. So I just want to advise you. I mean, to be honest, I'm saying I'm going to join your campaign team. I want to advise you, shouldn't take it lightly. Just look at it critically. And when you are going back to the field, you know how to project your message. It might not be easy for you as you think. But so far as I'm there, you'll be consulting me. We'll also be calling the delegates to make sure that you win, so that it will be easy for the NDC. Rosalind, he sat here and told you that NDC cancelled National Health Insurance. Rosalind, you know, under President Kufuor, I was working in the theater. Are you aware?
Okay.
Yes, I was working at St. Joseph Hospital.
So you are telling us.
So I'm telling you, it's a public knowledge. Everybody knows I've worked in the health sector for some time. And I'm telling you that President Kufuor never brought free delivery. It was called free delivery. It was a UK government that gave us some fund to do free delivery because the female mortality was so high. I'm telling you, I'm just wondering. Hold on. Let me tell you. So let me hold on. So what we did was that when President Kufuor and his
who negotiated with the UK government before we had that thing?
So we inculcated the fund into national health insurance because people didn't have accessibility of register of the national health insurance program. So what we did was that when you come to the hospital and you are pregnant, we'll do instant health insurance for you to this. But it was even a mutual. And Bruce, do you know that the CS was not even part of the surgery? Apart from you going for the antenatal care and those things. So when we came, and the health insurance was mutual. President Rawlings started the agent health insurance. So when President Kufuor turned it to mutual, the NDC said, no, let's just make a national policy. And the MPP said, no, so we walk out of parliament.
But what he actually said was a free maternal.
He has no information.
But he said a free maternal.
He told you that the board in the health insurance and the health insurance collapsed. He said it here.
No, he said health. He said maternal. Is it not maternal?
He said even the health insurance is collapsed. Okay. And I asked him maternal, I said they've done something. So I want to tell you how health insurance has been, and tell you what we did in maternal
No, but
policy.
I happy under ex-president.
Hold on,
That's a fact.
Let him
brought the UK government to negotiate.
We understand, but you see, under President Kufuor, it wasn't. Wait, under President Kufuor. Wait, under President Kufuor.
But don't try to paint a picture as if
under President Rollins.
No, he is behaving as if Kufuor did nothing.
No, don't do that. I didn't say that. No, I give him credit on that. What I'm saying is that
no problem. That's fine.
President Rollins brought aged health insurance. You remember? But by that time you are just 25, so you don't know. So by that time,
thank you.
The aged health insurance, when you are 60 years and above, you get free medical care. Then President Kufuor came to do it mutual health insurance. With a mutual health insurance, when you are in Bimbela and you are sick in Captain Guantanamo, you can access medical care. And then President Mills came to do it, national health insurance policy. And even under President Kufuor, we had only 25 drug lists. President John Dramani Mahama, President Rollins, President Mills came to move it for 132 drug lists. And we added cases like lipoma. We added cases like typhoid perforation. We added cases like fistula. All the major surgical cases have been added into it. Okay. Then we build the hospitals, and we even look at it, the mutual maternal care. We realize that the major problem that we had, these critical cases, were around the Dodua area there. So when they build 100-bed capacity, and it's clearly for maternal care, you are selling the give incubator. What did you go? Did you carry the incubator on your head? If somebody doesn't build structure, it's not coming that even recently raised funds to buy incubators. How many incubators did the government of Ghana supported? But also when they see people like this and say they've modified it should tell you, we have modified the health sector. We have modified quaternal hospital. Do you know what the quaternal hospital means? But the best in Africa.
They are building Agenda 111.
Where is it?
It's being built.
Oh,
it was commissioned in 2020.
Where? 2024?
Yes.
We are not commissioning any commission on the election day. We are waiting to attend hospital.
It won't be election day.
We have modified the Maritime Hospital. That's what we call modification. We have modified Rich Hospital.
Anyway, let's continue with the numbers that the numbers that
the numbers I'm talking about is not even necessary.
Why is it not necessary?
What is necessary?
That's my topic.
I mean, what is necessary is that we should wait for President John Dramani Mahama come and build their life. Whoever is getting 100% or whatever is losing the next elections. Building the Ghana we want is what we are looking at. So
you are not looking at the elections?
No, I mean, these elections, what was after? They went and shared over 70 million.
It is not true.
Meanwhile, it's village.
It is not true. No, it is not true.
Even it's village. I am not saying.
It is not true.
I am not saying.
So this is the alleged. It's alleged. For those of you who want to see the alleged,
it is fake.
So this is it. Bawumia must win confidential to National Campaign Coordinator. Richard, let me read it. Richard, let me read it. Category of delegates, regional chairman, amount per delegate, 200,000 Ghana. Whoa.
We can drill
if it's true.
We can drill 4 boreholes.
If it's true.
It is not true. That can drill about 5 boreholes.
That is if it's true.
5 boreholes.
If it's true.
And you give it somebody to know.
Wait. We said if it's true, but he says it's not true. Comments coming in. Comments, gentlemen.
Okay.
The people in Wale that have
Richard.
Okay. No problem.
If Bawumia has really performed, they won't be dashing out these money for votes. Even after giving out these monies, he couldn't even secure 70% of the vote. NPP never again. They've displayed the highest level of incompetence. Good morning to you. Calls for the Bank of Ghana governor to resign are the right direction and with a clear conscience, purpose and cause, with no hard feelings and evil intentions or attachment to this action for the betterment of Mother Ghana. My point is that the city is strong or will become stronger or weak depending on BOG currency management or regulations in the system and its international trade. The Ghana city is nothing to compare with, especially among the Francophone bloc within the West African bloc. The exchange rate is bad, and what a view. So if the governor resigns, I think it will serve a good purpose for a better tomorrow. Aaron Beba Kokomisa Accra. Thank you, Aaron. Master Planner Junior, aka Kintampo BMW, that's Bawumia must win. Congratulations to all the 4 aspirants who made it through to the top 5, especially my boss, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. 2024 is a done deal for NPP, breaking the 8. Ojanus Aso. Kumo. Okay, I hope I got it right. All right, so you can also send in your messages to us and definitely we will read it. Jesse, you want to say something?
Yeah, so my brother was saying that at the MPP headquarters, the grassroots gave Mr. Kennedy Japan 32 votes. So this is what happened at the headquarters. 170. Oh, please.
Let him land, please.
176 votes was cast at the headquarters. Out of that, 80 of them came from the diaspora. And you know, Mr. Japan has been at the US and other countries and with his businessmen and a whole lot. So if he was able to garner about 32 votes, it doesn't mean the grassroots or those here voted for Kennedy Japan. I mean, these are some of the issues that sometimes we don't want to hear, and we must set the record straight. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had 107 votes at the headquarters. So it is a fact that everywhere, all the 17 polling centers is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And quick one on the Chief of Staff. Mr. Hobson Adoye will come out to apologize to the good people of Ghana. What is said about the Chief of Staff is fake. My brother was saying that the Chief of Staff carried
said it, I was not there.
Yes, but
it's a party
yes, but this is a reported speech.
Yes, and
I'm hearing from you.
Your name was called.
Yes, and it is not true.
No.
When Hobson was granting the interview, I was standing closer to Hobson. I was even prompting Hobson. I was speaking in tree, Commander, Jai, but he was so furious because they've lost the election.
Is something?
Yes.
But this is not a lose. Is this a lose? Because you are going into the delegates.
They are disappointed because of the figures. Because of the numbers, they were anticipating a higher numbers.
Let me speak with the MP for Tamale. We know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia performed very well in the north and want to take his opinion. Now, Honorable Muntala Mohammed is actually MP for Tamale, and he is an NDC
Tamale
member
Central
as well, Tamale Central. Good morning, Honorable Muntala.
Good morning and good morning to your child. Listen to you.
This man, he will rubbish.
How are you today?
I know him.
Well, we can't complain. We can only say, Tamale, we are having a system for the public account committee for the 5 northern regions in Tamale. We shall be spending the weekend for the regions. So I'm currently in you guys from.
Right. Now, Honorable Mutala, are you quite surprised at the kind of numbers that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia pulled in the northern part of Ghana, especially in Tamale, where he won hands down? Is this surprising?
Well, I'm not surprised, and I don't think you are. I really don't think that any sane person will be surprised, considering the fact that polling agents of other contestants were not only choosed out, they were beaten off. I can tell you, the polling agent for Honorable Alan Chirmantin had, it was like, what's the name? McGregor and Habib. They exchanged blows. And the gentleman was interviewed by a local TV station, and he confirmed that the regional chairman gave him slaps and he also responded. Many other examples of that would be seen. So if you take a place like Northeast, I guess you carried the story where one of the contestants' agents was involved. So if you beat contestants, the agents of other aspirants, and cut them from the polling, what they expect the results. But for me, what happened is a symptom of what the NPP intends to do in the 2024. And as a member of the NDC and other opposition parties, we must get ready to confront this person frontally. I mean, they have demonstrated time and again that their party is a very violent political party, and they have no hesitation to unleash the violence on people. If they can
but Honorable Mutala, if you say they are a violent party, we've seen these mishaps happen in almost all the political parties when you go to the polls. And so why will we associate violence to one particular political party?
Maybe perhaps you need to take a step back and think about the UP and the Buddha. My grandfather, one of the founding fathers of the UP tradition, Tolena Yakubu. Go and read about the political history, and you come to conclusion. Massimo, people were chased out from Kumasi. They used pistol and pound on the private parts of women. They have demonstrated that. But I'm thinking that in the Fourth Republic.
But Honorable Mutala, haven't we seen the NDC demonstrate something similar?
Well, but not to the extent that they have done. We just organized our presidential primary. President Muhammad didn't contest and oppose. We had our presidential primary. As even without admitting that some kind of violence can be associated with other political parties. Our democracy is evolving. The last presidential primary we had, the NDC had it very, very peaceful. It was peaceful. What are we experiencing today? And if they can do this to their own people, if they can do this to their own people, what do you think they can do to the people of this country? But you see, the other sad aspect of what we witness is the attempt to weaponize religion, attempt to weaponize ethnicity. I've listened to Nana Akomia, who says that Dr. Bamiya's victory in this superdelegates election defeats the idea of associating or tagging the NPP as an account party. The NPP is not just an account party, it's an Asante Achim party. And it played out in this election. It played out. Look at all those who are anti-Allah. And look at all those who are majority, Dr. Bamiya. It is very clear that Achim Asante division play. It is very clear that President Kufuor, President Nanado's faction play. It is very clear. And to the extent that money plays a significant role.
But Honorable Murtala Mohammed, now what you're saying that the party is more of an Achim party, an Akan party, but you have somebody that you're voting for who doesn't hail from any of these sectors that you're talking about. This is somebody who hails from the northern part of Ghana, and he's getting the numbers.
So the reason why they are supporting Dr. Bamiya, it is not because he is not an Achim. It is because the Achim Mafia are dying. Because they see him
I don't know of any existence of Achim Mafia, Honorable.
But it is very clear.
But what is a mafia, Honorable? A mafia is, if you talk about a mafia, you're talking about criminals. So we don't know of any Achim criminals.
You have legal members of NPP who have made this statement very clearly.
No, but the word mafia on a live television, the meaning of mafia is criminals. And so using it on national television becomes a little bit worrying.
But the robbery we experience in this country under this government isn't it even worse than criminality?
Until proven that there's any criminality, we can't be using those words.
The robbery we experience in this country, and clearly, we were in this country when you have a minister for local government, Aja Lima Mahama, told everybody on national television after she engaged with MMDCs that they knew those who were engaged in Galamsey and a criminal act. And then very soon, they were going to bring those people out. As we see today, have they brought one person out? They just had their presidential primary. Austin Odoi said, in fact, he accused the chief of staff that the chief of staff was being given delegates $5,000. And he went ahead to say that some delegates were given 100,000. I picked information internally that some delegates were given 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Alleged? Or you saw it?
Have they denied that?
Well, he's denying. Jesse Bwako is on television denying it.
Yes.
Who denied it?
He's a president of Bawumia Must Win, and he's denying it. Jesse Bwako.
The president of who?
Bawumia Must Win.
Was he the one actually?
He's
$5,000. It was the chief of staff who was actually. So the denial of Bawumia Must Win has got nothing to do with whether the allegations leveled against the chief of staff is true or not.
well,
Since the attempt to weaponize religion, and look, they have started doing it. Bawumia supported in the Tongos. Oh, vote Bawumia because he's a Muslim. And that is very dangerous. I don't care who rules this country. Whether the person is a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, what I care about is a leader who sees all of us at once.
Honorable Murtala, let me ask you this. Over the years, we have seen both political parties go to polls to elect executive, to elect the flag bearer and all to lead the party. And we see this occurrence happening all the time where there is sharing of money. It is not just one political party. Maybe one's own might be a little more because they might have an upper hand with regards to the kind of monies they have. But almost all the political parties do it. We saw it in the NDC. We are seeing it in the NPP. Now, NDC did it. You did it. Let me land though. So we saw it. We saw rice being shared. We saw a woman throw money into the air when she wanted to become to be elected and as an MP hopeful for a constituency. We've seen it happen over and over and over. And so we ask this question: is it not that the executives or the leadership feel that they can woo the people with votes, with the money, and it's not just one political party that's doing it?
Well, I mean, the difference between what you claim you've seen in the past, as far as the NDP is concerned, is that in this case, you have a leading member who is accusing someone who is not a contestant. The chief of staff is not contesting to be elected as a flag bearer of the NP. And you have a leading member of the NP accusing the chief of staff, given $5,000. That's huge. And again, I will make a video available to you. The gentleman who is the head of the buffer stock went to US or UK, met NPP functionaries, and said that the regional elections they had, that he can stay on authority, that some members were given 30,000 Ghana cedis to vote a particular candidate. So, assuming without admitting that all political parties engage in this monocracy, our democracy is evolving. People are talking about the need for us to insulate such from our political engagement. We are in the year 2023, and someone can give a delegate $5,000, give a delegate 100,000 Ghana cedis. The same executives are telling us that the times are tough. We went and borrowed money in the name of COVID. We are taxing the people of this country for the money which we borrowed in their name. Yet we have a chief of staff who allegedly gave $5,000 to a candidate to vote for someone in an election where she is not contesting. That is the difference. Right.
Now, NPP will go to the polls finally on the 4th of November to elect one person to become their flag bearer. If it should be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia who becomes the flag bearer of the NPP, looking at the kind of figures that he pulled in the northern part of Ghana, is the NDC a little bit scared that he will actually mix a little bit and bring down the numbers John Dramani Mahama will be pulling for the NDC in the northern part?
Well, there are certain values in the people of sincerity, honesty. Dr. Bawumia is a liar. Everybody in Ghana knows he's a liar. He's a liar. And
oh, really?
That is what the people do not have to worry. The MPP has a good showing in northern region. The MPP said they get nine seats out of the 18. The reason why they got the seats, I can tell you, 5 of those seats, I can tell you on authority, it was because of the unity within the NDP. It was not because of Dr. Bawumia's support. We do know they used a lot of money in northern region to pass the election. The people would continue using their money. They have indeed awoken. They have realized that it is more dangerous. They can no longer take care of themselves. When they go to hospital, they can't take care of themselves. Fertilizer cannot be bought. People cannot even engage in farming 2 acres because you now need over 200 Ghana cedis for a tractor to go and plant 2 acres for you. The people have realized it. Look, let me be very clear. Dr. Bawumia, and I don't know where the NPP is getting confidence that the NDC is worried about Dr. Bawumia. I can tell you with all sincerity, my preferred candidate for the NPP in this their primaries is Dr. Bawumia. Because Dr. President will be an hands down.
And who are you scared of? Who is the NDC scared of? Kennedy Japan?
No, we are not scared of anybody. Okay. Kennedy Japan, I can put in his way. Okay. He said that the people, the NPP should not elect someone who participated in creating the mess you are going through this country. No amount of old perfume from Arabia can be used to bar Dr. Bawumia or Alan Kilmantin from the mess that is created.
Honorable,
that was occasioned by all those who participated.
Okay, Honorable.
And Dr. Bawumia cannot insulate himself from that.
Honorable, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are super grateful. I think one of these days we'll invite you into the studio and we hope you'll be able to make it.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Jesse, I know you are very ready, but let me tell the people who I spoke to. I spoke to Honorable Muntala Mohammed, who is the MP for Tamale Central constituency.
Rosalind, respectively, I think Honorable Muntala Mohammed, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, doesn't know what he's saying.
Why?
He is saying.
Why will you say he doesn't know what he's saying? He also knows what he's saying.
Let me.
Don't mind the credibility.
Richard, let me handle it. Let me handle it, Richard. Richard,
please don't worry.
Richard, let me handle it, please.
So you want to say that the people of Tamale Central doesn't know?
Richard,
I'm saying what the MP said.
Let me handle
it is not true.
Let me handle it.
A lot of the allegations were not true. Number one,
Jesse.
No, let me take you one after the other.
I get you.
Number
but
one,
you can actually say that what he's saying is not true. But saying that he doesn't know what he's saying.
It is not true.
No, so just say it's not true.
Okay, what he said is not true.
Now give us the reason why.
Number one, this is from Ghana Web, February 1st, 2029. Honorable 2019, 1st February 2019, from Ghana Web. Honorable Mutala said, when it comes to violence, MPP is the most violent party. Please listen. No party can unleash violence than NDC will match MPP boot for boot. And this is from their flag, their flag bearer, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. I'll just read the first paragraph. Former President John Dramani Mahama has said no political party in the country can unleash violence like the National Democratic Congress.
But can I say something there before you continue? Yes. So in his submission, I did make reference to the NDC also having that kind of, let me land please, having that kind of brand in the past, where he said that, yes, you admit that it was so in the past, but in recent times, it has changed. That's what he said.
In recent times? Yes, from what year to what year? Rosalind, it is never true. Check the records.
Anyway, you can send your messages to us. I'll let you
check the record.
So you can send your messages with regards to our discussion that we are having. Of course, the NPP went to polls over the weekend and they have 4. They have selected 4. They are yet to decide on the 5th person to join. But the 4 are Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Honorable Kennedy Ejapong, Honorable Alan Chermating, and Dr. Osei Efriye Akoto. Now, who will you vote for if either of them becomes the flag bearer of the party? Will you retain the NPP if it's Dr. Bawumia? Will you retain the NPP if it's Honorable Kennedy Ejapong? Will you retain the NPP if it's Alan Chermating or if it's Dr. Osei Efriye Akoto?
Every election in this country where the NDC is involved, even the internal election, before Mr. John Dramani Mahama was elected as the NDC flag bearer, you can check the number of delegates that were beaten all over the country. And my brother is here. He couldn't speak.
The recent one?
Oh, yes. People were beaten. People, even in Ablekuma South, my own constituency, people were chased out, beaten left, right, center.
Okay, so I know about the Ablekuma one you're talking about, but there wasn't any kind of beating. It was people were not allowed to vote.
People were beaten. I'm telling you,
saw them
that is my constituency.
Okay.
Not only in Ablekuma
Well, I didn't see that.
There are so many places where there were pockets of violence. But Honorable Mutala is on national television denying those allegations. I mean, we shouldn't do this to ourselves. If we want power, we must speak truth to power. Number 2, he said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not a threat. Check the analysis from 2008, 2012, 2016 to 2020. NDC used to have 27 seats at the currently 5 northern regions. The NPP used to have 4 seats in the northern region. From 2008 to when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia became running mate and as vice president, we've been able to turn out the numbers. NPP currently has 16 seats at the 5 northern regions, whilst the NDC have 15. They've lost, and the number keep depreciating. They couldn't speak to this fact. Number 3, he said Mr. Hobson alleged that $5,000. Is there a video evidence of the chief of staff sharing $5,000? These are some of the things that we shouldn't deceive the public with. You were a member of parliament.
Well, that's why I said that once Hobson is going to face the disciplinary committee, we know that definitely we'll get answers to that.
We'll get answers. But maybe premature for someone.
I mean, maybe. Yes. So, you see, their basis is on the fact that it is an executive in your party, a high-ranking member in your party, who made this allegation. It's not coming from their camp. And that's what they are standing on.
Let me cite one example. Mr. Stephen Atubiga, I know he comes from Pusiga, one of the...
Bindiri.
Yes, Binduri.
Bindiri.
Yes, he made a lot of allegations against Mr. John Dramani Mahama during their presidential primaries. Were those allegations true? It wasn't true at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, allegations are made. But the good thing is that, and one thing I must applaud your party for, is the fact that you are acting with speed, where you are calling on these people who have made so many allegations. You are summoning them, having a conversation. So we'll get to the bottom of it. Definitely. So don't worry. It's just because your party member made this allegation, not from their account. Yes. And so they have to stand on it, because when it comes to elections, it's like that. You know, people always use your words against you. Yes. So you just have to caution your people not to be speaking certain things, and so that the NDC doesn't take advantage of it.
That is why the disciplinary committee will take.
Yes, exactly.
But some of the things that our brothers are saying, I mean, the general public should disregard it.
Okay. The problem of the MPP is that it's English. That's the only problem I can find.
What are you saying? Wait, let me handle it.
So you can't tell us.
Let me handle it.
You sit
here. Richard Manuribi.
Yes.
When you say what you say, you know that.
I said the problem, so let me explain the problem so that they can correct it.
But if you say the problem with the MPP, this is a general. Don't be doing that. This is a general statement.
Don't be doing this.
No, move on.
Richard Manuribi.
Yes, but
when you make
so let me explain.
Yes. If you explain your explanation is not good enough, you retract it.
So why I say the problem with MPP is English is that you see, he sat here.
No, but it is wrong.
Hold on.
But you can't say that.
You sat here, read Ghana Web, and talked about when President John Dramani Mahama said, when it comes to unleashing violence. You have forgotten that where the ingredient of the issue is, you didn't start from there. You went to Ayawaso.
No, I can give you examples.
You went to Ayawaso.
There are examples.
No, don't
if you allow me.
If you do that, let's come again.
Don't have your time.
Of course, I'm here to speak for the people.
No, this is fair.
Please speak.
So, Rosalind, you went to Ayawaso and picked up Ghanaians. Some even lost their lives. And President John Dramani Mahama is telling you that we are coming from a revolutionary party. But because we need democracy, if not because we need democracy, when we come to unleashing violence, like no political party can beat us. And that's the fact.
Okay. Let me come in. Let me come in.
That's the fact.
Richard, that has nothing to do with the English.
If you don't understand explanation, what is the problem? The problem is English.
Richard, you could have said it in a better way. And what you said, it means that it's everybody. JC is the one who read it. You could say that, JC, what you read, you didn't have meanings to it. Because if you say problem with the NPP... Wait, let me learn.
Rosemary, are you speaking for NPP?
I'm not speaking for
NPP. So let me tell you something.
What you are saying is not true.
Richard,
you were here when the person was incompetent.
Richard and Jesse, I need some decorum here. And Richard, when you
I've always been disciplined.
You have always been, so I don't know what's happening this morning. But please, when you made that statement, you made a general statement. Please, can you correct it?
Call the vice president to come and correct that. We say NDC doesn't rate.
This is an insult.
Call the vice president to come and say NDC doesn't rate.
This is very disrespectful.
Didn't you hear the vice president say NDC doesn't rate?
This is very disrespectful.
JC, let me handle it, please.
Very, very disrespectful.
JC, let me handle it. Richard and Jesse.
No, Rosalie, move on.
Should we mute your mics?
But we need to.
Let me speak to Honorable Hussaini Issa, and then I'll come back to you. But you also.
You see, you gave him time to speak.
You will speak.
And he's made so many allegations.
He's on Zoom. Let me finish with him on Zoom.
No, but see,
I'll let you speak. You are speaking right after that.
You didn't even let me speak.
You will speak.
Allow me to speak.
You will speak, but you are also not trying to understand me here. And so I have to penalize you a little bit. You know that. I'll come back to you. Good morning, Honorable Hussaini Issa. Honorable, kindly unmute yourself for us this morning. Hello, Honorable.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Good morning. How are you?
Right. Very well. How are you doing too?
Doing fantastic.
I want to say good morning to my colleagues in the studio.
Right, they can hear you. Anyway, Honorable, how is the mood like? We had a conversation on Friday and you were projecting a 70% win for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and he got 68.1%. How's the mood like?
I mean, since there are no fractions in human beings, I presume that we still got a 70% target. For every 10 people who went to vote, 7 out of the 10 voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and that's expected. That was what we had actually expected. But right after the voting, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did make a statement that this still remains an internal contest. There's a bigger contest coming up in November, and even a much bigger contest on December 7, 2024. So it is not time for celebration. We are going back to the field. We are going to work much harder to ensure that we secure the flag bearership for the party, and then go on to march and win the presidential elections on December 7, 2024. The mood is encouraging, but we are not spending time to jubilate or anything. We still see it as an internal contest, and so we are marching on to the next one.
Right, and the next one is the 4th of November. Are you quite surprised at the numbers that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong pulled? 132 votes.
No, I can't recollect if I had made that statement in your studio that we had expected him to come second. How much he pulled, I mean, we got what we had expected. So how much he pulled is not a surprise to us, but I'm sure that we are all looking forward to November 4th. What he got was not a surprise to us at all. We had expected him to be second, and he was second. The bigger contest still remains November 4th, and so that's what we are marching on today.
Now, we know that the grassroots makes an 80% of the total vote that will be casted in November. And so looking at Kennedy Agyapong, who is the man for the grassroots as projected, is he a threat in November for you as the Bawumia campaign, Bawumia Must Win campaign team?
I don't know where this whole notion of Kennedy Agyapong being a man for the grassroots, I don't know where it's coming from. I have had the privilege to travel across the country in certain constituencies. I have interacted with the people who are going to vote come November 4th, and I don't really see and expect anything different from what the super delegates did on Saturday. And historically, if you look at the history of elections from when the New Patriotic Party put in this arrangement, the winner of the Super Delegates Congress had gone on ahead in the main contest to win even by a bigger margin. And that's what we're expecting come November 4th. I don't think that the grassroots belongs to Kennedy. I don't expect him. And I mean, it will be one of the wonders of this world if he's able to surpass us. We are going to continue. Like I said, we're going to keep our feet on the ground. We are not going to give in to any complacency. We have to do what we have to do, and we'll secure the mandate of the people come November 4th.
What's your projection with regards to percentage November 4th?
At this time, what transpired on Saturday, we are still putting it into our models, and it's too early in the day for us to make a projection. But as the time gets closer, as we go further, as our leader, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he's done so far about 150 constituencies. But I can tell you that before he gets to every constituency, we go ahead to do the work before he even gets there. And so we are still on the ground. We're working. It's too early for projection. We don't want to get into that mode at this time. We have a couple of months to go, and as the dates for November get inches closer, we're going to give you some definite predictions, and we are sure that they will come to pass.
You projected 70%, you got 68.1%. Are you going to change your campaign strategy in order to increase numbers for this November 4th, or you're going to stick to the same strategy you have been going with?
Well, until days or even weeks to the super delegates, we had been doing a general campaign. When we get into constituencies, we didn't limit it to just the super delegates a campaign. We were also engaging the polling station executives who will become delegates on the day on November 4th. And so I don't think that our strategy is going to change any significantly. What is going to is that we are going to even intensify it because the campaign is now energized. Unless we have a very firm indication that whatever projection we put out there, we're as close as possible. And so it's going to edge us on. No change in strategy at all. We are going to go down there, engage the people, take our story to them. It is not a case of us allowing ourselves to be distracted. We are not going to be distracted. We are sticking to our strategy. We are going to engage the people who are going to vote, and I'm sure at the end of the day, we will secure the ticket for the ticket of the party.
You know, people are of the opinion that the vice president actually did this well because he's the vice president and also because the people that voted are executives. Do you agree with this school of thought, or he actually won on this account due to merit?
It was purely merit. The party itself put in a lot of arrangements to ensure that there's a fair level playing field. I can tell you that even the ballots from the ballot booklets was done randomly, and these are all arrangements to ensure that there was no. And then talking about people being whipped to support him or vote for him, it is neither here nor there. In fact, weeks before the elections, I was present in a meeting when the president himself had queried all these allegations. There was a key member, and there are key members of the government now, cabinet ministers, deputy ministers, who are not working for the vice president, and they are not being persecuted. Everyone has a free hand to select the leader amongst the people who have put themselves forward for this election. So it is not a case of anybody coercing or forcing anybody to work.
Honorable, you know,
it is not.
There was a conversation.
Cabinet ministers who are working for chosen candidates, and they have not come to complain. So where from all those allegations?
So
I think they are just
saying it again. There was a conversation that I bumped into, and let me ask you this on a lighter note, because I bumped into this conversation where people were saying that the votes, actually those who voted, that the super delegates who voted, are those who are government appointees and those who are MPs and, you know, the DCs and all of that, and the party executives. Now they're looking at the party currently, and the party is divided, where you have the Achims, you have the Akant, and they also feel that the Akants are constitutes of the Kufuor fraction, where you have the Achims, which constitutes of the president fraction. They feel that if any other person becomes the flag bearer of the party, those who are in position, who have been appointed, will all be changed. Hence, they will lose their side. And so they had to maintain Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so they don't lose their seat with where they are working. This is something they were saying. What do you say about it?
This still remains a very... I really can't comprehend where this is coming from. Look, of the over 900... It's coming from
some Ghanaians who are having conversations.
Ghanaians are having... So let me give me the opportunity to explain. Okay. 275 of them are constituency chairmen. I don't see how constituency chairmen remain appointees of the government. It is not true. 275 of them were constituency chairmen, and they were not appointed by government. 137 of them were members of parliament. Nobody tells an MP where to vote. The MP can decide where he or she wants to vote. Nobody can coerce an MP. I have been an MP before. I have sat in parliament before. And at such elections, I don't think that anybody could come to parliament and tell me that for saying you're supposed to vote like this or like that. It wouldn't even happen. Then again, 17 times 16 of the rest were regional executives. Regional executives are also not appointees of the government. So there remains a very small chunk of the people. I think about 6 or so who are ministers who are not members of parliament. And even that, I can tell you about 3 of them were out of the jurisdiction and couldn't even vote on the day. So nobody could tell us that regional executives, constituency chairmen, or members of parliament remain appointees. And this was the chunk of the people who voted. So it is not true that the people who voted were appointees of government. And so they were coerced or forced to vote in a particular direction. They have seen the vision. They have bought into the vision of His Excellency, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and they believe that he is a man to build upon where Nanado is going to leave off. And so this is the direction of the party. And remember, these are also grassroots people. Because if you're a constituency chairman, you are a person in charge of the constituency, and you cannot be described by any other word than a grassroots person. If you're a regional executive, you must have been with the people for them to vote you as a regional executive. If you're a member of parliament, certainly you are with the people. So these are equally grassroots people. And I can tell you, in certain constituencies, the members of parliament and the chairman, right after voting, they came to sit. They were delegates. They had gone to actually show they are going to actually vote on behalf of their constituencies. And that is what transpired on Saturday. And that's what we are going to carry into November 4th.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Hussaini Issa, for speaking with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Right. Honorable Hussaini Issa is a former MP and also a part of the Bawumia Maswin campaign. Richard, you were making your point.
So that's what happened. And then my brother sat here and make Atibiga as references to the allegations that was made to on President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana. At that time, he made that comment. I think that J.C. Boku knows very well. At the time Atibiga made this decision, he's not a member of the NDC.
He's not
a member of the NDC.
What shows?
Atibiga is not a member of the NDC.
Show us the letter.
Atibiga is not a member of the NDC.
But if somebody is not a member of the MPP,
the former communication director of the NDC, member of parliament in Adenta, said categorically that the vote were bought. It's a spokesperson to Alante's campaign. Former member of parliament and former director of communication of your party. A leading member of the MPP. A former deputy national security coordinator. He was at the airport. A leading member of the NDC who was
votes were bought. Where?
Who has been the leading member of this your party, Richard, has sat in party meetings, mentioned your name, not any other person.
But I was there when he was conducting the interview.
He said that you sent over 70 million.
He mentioned Jesse Boako.
He mentioned Jesse Boako, but it's not true.
Jesse Boako, where is some of the money?
He said a lot of money. He's that was mentioned.
Do you think if I have 70, I'll be sitting here?
I'll take my
you see, our problem is not about you are a lady. Okay? Me. Last Friday, something happened.
What happened?
And since you are a woman advocate, you should look at it critically.
What happened?
A young lady, I was passing, I heard him shout, leave me.
Hey.
Then I rushed there. They were holding this lady's neck.
Who was holding the lady?
A gentleman was holding the lady's neck. You know what happened? Rosen, this is a fact. Rosen, hold on.
No, is it part of the discussion?
No, listen. It's part of the discussion. I will end with something.
No problem.
I will end with something.
But Roslyn,
this lady has been intimidated.
By who?
By a young man.
That's what?
So when I asked the lady, what did you do? He said she's a prostitute. Okay? The gentleman was giving her 20 Ghana to sleep with her outside. And she said she was not going to agree. And she was beaten up.
Oh, she was beaten because she won't accept 20 Ghana.
No, she accepted the 20 Ghana. But open sex, she won't accept.
Oh,
Roslyn.
No, but
hold on. Roslyn. Wait, the point is that.
Wait from this one.
Hold on. The point is, allow me to talk. I'm here.
Talk.
This young girl who has gotten 20 Ghana cedi, they are saying that by 1st September, she's going to buy pure water of 50 cedi for 1 cedi. This young woman who has got 20 Ghana cedi is going to pay more electricity. So, this young guy who has taken only 20 Ghana cedi is going to show. That's what we are saying in the NDC, that we are going to create national apprenticeship program. So this young guy will get something to do.
But what has that got to do with
your promise and ceremony is not my concern. What we are saying is that let's find a solution to the problem of this country. And the solution is that President John Dramani.
What did you go and do at the shower line?
Oh, no, I didn't go to a shower line. I said I was passing at my area and I heard it. Okay. And
your area shower stand there?
I don't know. I've not seen some there, but that was.
How did you see?
I didn't know. Maybe we're going to pick her somewhere and brought it there. I might not know. So we are telling this young girl, cry no more. She should cry no more. The national apprenticeship program is coming to your doorstep.
Okay.
The young boy, the pure water that you are going to buy in increment, we are saying we're going to regularize it. Government is increasing pure water. But meanwhile, instead of you creating water,
I have
you are
some
sharing
messages.
money.
Let me read some messages that have come in. Okay, so messages coming in. We'll quickly read some of the messages. As for Richard Manurubi, lovely. Good morning to you. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate Kennedy Ejapong and his campaign team. As it stands now, Ghana needs Mr. Kennedy Ejapong's type. We don't want any talkative who doesn't work his talks. I will vote if Kennedy is elected as flag bearer. I got a lot of this response as well when I did my polls. Good morning, I'm from Sefriyo. So if MPP is going to bring Kennedy Ejapong as their presidential candidate, we will vote for him 100%. But if they present Baumia, wallahi, we will vote against them totally. I said to you, again, it was the same thing. Good morning, Rosalind. If the MPP man says they want to continue what Nanado and Baumia has done, then we are dead as Ghanaians. God forbid the NPP ruling Ghana again. We are really suffering. Ni Abola from Lojekuku. Okay, thank you, Ni Abola. Good morning. The NPP should stop these lies about NHIS. They never started it. It was piloted under Rollins, under Kufuor. It was Mutual Health, and this made it National Health Insurance. Okay, thank you so much for sending your message as well. Good morning, Kennedy Ejapong will be the best candidate for the NPP. Right. Good morning, Rosalind. I'm watching you from Obuasi. The only credible man who can lead the NPP is Honorable Kennedy Ejapong. Wow. I got the same thing when I did my polls, actually. Really? Yes. It was quite surprising.
No. It's Baumia.
Okay. So let's see more. Okay, I think that will be it. That will be all for now. You can also send your messages. Let's quickly go to FDA. FDA says you can't sell food on the ground again. So for those of you, that's why you go to the market, you see foodstuffs on the floor, you see yam on the floor, you see with tomatoes, I'll pardon them a bit because they put it in the bucket. Yeah. The onions are on the floor, pepper on the floor, and all of that. And FDA has released a statement saying that they are banning that. If you should be caught doing that, of course, the law will deal with you. Jesse, your take on it.
It depends on the environment that the person is selling some of these food items. You know, certain things has been part of us since time immemorial. I mean,
it adds the sweetness to the food.
You see, I mean, growing up, my mom used to sell yam at Timber Market. Oh. The yam is always on the floor with. I mean, we've seen this thing all been years. Vegetables. It is not something new. So the reason why this market women, I believe, do some of these things is the space. Because you can't get a big table like what we have here to display your stuff. The spaces at the markets are very limited. They are fighting for space. Everywhere you pass, you see someone selling something. So with the decision that the FDA want to take, it's a good decision, but I think they should look at it again. Yesterday I was at Mala Marketing, plantain, everything was on the floor. So it's not something that kills us. I don't know whether it's killing us.
It is killing us. If it's not killing us, will they say that we should
if there is a survey, if a survey has been conducted, which shows that foods or food stuff on the floor kills about 1 or 3% of Ghanaians.
I mean, from the ground.
From the ground. So, I mean, we can't be displaying things on the table like
but
that.
For health reasons.
For health reasons. It's been the tradition. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the environment. If it's a clean environment, fair enough. You can display your food stuff on the ground. But if the place is like Agbublushi, some part of Agbublushi, I mean, it is very good to use table. But
it's going to be difficult. Sometimes we buy these foods and we take it to the house and we also put it on the ground. You won't put it on the table.
Yes.
Okay, Richard, let me thank you.
Let me applaud Madam Dr. Mimi for the good move that he has taken. I mean, I think the FDA has done their research and realized that maybe there will be implications of putting food on the grounds and then this. Basically, there may be some food that if you put it on the ground and consume it, I know most of these days the foods we buy is full of genetic modified foods
the GMOs.
And the GMOs, and so there are implications. That is why when President John Dramani Mahama was the President of the Republic of Ghana, we thought it wise and we strengthened the FDA and make sure that goods that comes to in the country will do well certification. So I don't know whether we've gone to Tema. You should have built a very big FDA tower. I don't know if you've seen it. So that we'll do better regulation with the standard authority that foods that come. It's not basically the domestic foods. There are other items that you go to the market and it's on the ground, even this canned food and those things. You go to market, you see people selling canned food and those things. So President John Dramani Mahama thought it was, okay, why don't you extend markets So that's why we built a central market in Kumasi, the biggest in Africa. So that we'll put structures in place that then when we bring food starts, you don't put it on the ground.
Who permitted GMO foods in Ghana?
It's the MPP. Yeah, it's the MPP. No, it's the MPP. Yeah, some of the part of GMO. Yes, genetic modified food. Let me.
My brother, you don't want to read everything. MPP.
Don't be.
It is not true.
Let me interject. So we realize that.
Richard,
credibility.
we were in Ghana here. When we were in Ghana.
Okay, it was President Mills time. Sorry, that's right. It was President Mills time.
So now,
this was President Mills time. The genetically modified food were passed. And so really, so what did
and it came to being under
government
under President John Dramani Mahama.
So when President John Dramani Mahama is there, so we built a Kotokroba. Yeah, you remember we built Kotokroba market, one of the biggest markets in Ghana, so that they will put structures that you don't put food on the ground. So we went to Kumasi and put in another Kumasi market. Then went to Ho. Then we did another one in Ho. So we started building markets so that you don't bring goods and then you put it on the ground. So we started extending Medina market. So you can see that even this government has moved the external market of Medina to at the back of Oman FM. So we started putting those structures and we started building markets and structures in every community so that we'll be able to not put food on the ground. But this government came and all the projects, all those markets have been condemned. So if you don't build markets and I go to market, why don't I put my product on the ground? So that's the major problem we're facing. I think that FDA has put in a very good structure that will support that. And I want to urge government that with immediate effect, concerning about ordinary person not to get complications, it should complete all the markets the President John Dramani Mahama has not built. And then if you don't even complete, I think we have only 17 months to come and complete all those projects.
Rosalind, so it's not about the construction of markets. Even when you go to a well-constructed market, you see foods on the ground.
It's not true.
And that is a reality.
So you think they go to Kumasi?
Hold on. If there are foods on the ground, I'm telling you, you see cabbage, you see pepper, you see onions.
When they construct the market spaces, I know they don't create spaces that you can put the food on the ground. That's the fact.
Rosalind.
Yeah.
So build markets.
Hold on.
Richard.
They should build markets. When it was interjecting, we didn't talk.
So what I'm saying is that, irrespective of the structure, definitely people will put food on the ground. It must go with public education. You need to educate the market women.
But do you think we have enough market structures?
Yes, I think we have enough.
Okay.
It goes down with education. If you don't educate the people that putting food on the ground is very dangerous to our health. I mean, you can...
But that's what they said.
Yes, you can construct anything that you want to do, but still, people will put food on the ground.
Okay.
It has been the tradition. It has been with us. This thing has been part of us.
More education.
So the FDA must have constant public education with our market folks. I think that one will help. Not just coming out to say it and going back to relax. They must send their men and women to the public and start doing the PR work.
They do. I think they do.
Before, no, I haven't seen one before for quite some time now. Before we can get results, because we need result, not mere rhetoric.
Mere saying.
You see, President Kufuor built Accra Mall, isn't it? Then it's also a market. A mall is a market. Do you think you go and put food on the ground at Accra?
No, but more.
I'm just making
more is different from the traditional market.
It's a market as well. What I'm saying is that President John Dramani Mahama built Kumasi Central Market. You think you go to Kumasi Central Market and there's food on the ground?
There are foods on the ground.
See that. No, maybe if not been there. I just say, are you always in
But Kumasi is my town.
So what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that government accept this, and government must also build a market.
No, you are saying
uncompleted market.
What you see saying is that we have enough markets, but we need to
the structures are not
sanitize the system.
Yes.
We need to educate so that people will know how to use their space appropriately.
Sure.
Because you can have the same space and put a table there and put the items on it and sell, rather than putting it on the floor. What Richard is saying is that we need more markets.
And Rosalind, one thing too that I've
so that we can have spaces that they will put the food items there.
Rosalind, one thing too that I've observed that a lot of people, especially the market people, don't like selling in the market, but rather they want to come out from the market and sell on the street.
Because there's no space.
No, there are spaces.
There's no space.
There are spaces.
There are spaces.
The market is choked.
Just here, circle.
Inside. They don't want
circle,
inside. They want to be outside.
Here. At the back of circle. I mean, the last time I passed there and I was watching a lot of.
Yeah.
So I asked one woman, so why am I not there? And the woman is saying, oh, I mean, people believe in selling on the street.
I remember very well when President Kufuor sacked most of the market women when he built the Makola side and sacked them inside. Within a space of a month or so, they all moved back to the street.
So that is why I'm saying that. No, it's not structured. That is why I'm saying that.
Education we need, also has to go
public massive education before this thing can stop.
If you're going to Accra Mall, around
the runabout.
You know, that place used to be very, very choked. But when this minister went there and sacked the
minister?
And I applaud that minister very well for what he has done, because those days you can see the robbery cases, snatching mobile phones and those things. But when the minister sacked them, the sanity. Yes,
people are selling this. They sell shoes, they sell bags.
But it's not used to deal like it's better than
especially at the Medina traffic light. When that thing.
Yes, I mean that guy did very well, especially from how do you call
Race Junction.
No, not Race Junction. From listen, that mosque. Before you, after from if you're from the Atomic Junction, coming. So just from the bus, before you get to the bus stop, to the main Zongo Junction was choked. It was hell. But you see, he sacked everybody, put in structures there, put fences there.
He forced people to use the footbridge.
And you see that everything is moving. So you can't even go to.
They even used canes at a point in time.
Yes. You see, so there was a time you see them standing now when there's traffic, everybody is running to cross. But now if you go there, the minister did very well there, putting a city gas there and those things. So I think if you do all such things, the FDA, these things are quite better.
Richard, for the record, this is an MPP minister. So
no, I'm not saying, but I'm saying he did well. I mean, so me, no, do you think if MPP do something good, I will say?
Yes, you must say it. Yes. It is good that you are saying it.
No, I will say it.
So but if you must tell your other colleagues to be saying it as well.
Night market is actually going to be taxed very soon. You know that the night market business has been booming for a while now, especially for the students. They love the night market. When you go to Lagos, night market is one of the biggest, you know, if you are hungry, when you go and mow, you are coming out, you get something to eat. We go to Osu night market, the best of Kenki, you know, the Chitolo and all of that. Right. These people were not paying taxes, but it looks like they're going to be paying taxes very soon, because GRE says that they ought to pay taxes. I'll start off with you.
Yeah, they must pay taxes, especially of those doing online business. I know of a certain lady who sells back, and everything is via WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook. And the last time I was interacting with this lady, and the revenue she generates a week. So I asked the lady, how much tax do you pay to the government? And the lady was so furious that why should I ask her that she is paying tax? She's more interested in what she's doing and getting the revenue than even what government, a little that they will contribute to government. You know, taxes are good. Taxes are used for developmental agendas. And in Ghana here, a lot of people evade tax because excuses.
But you know, in Ghana here, whether you run, you jump, you sleep, you pay tax.
Yes, but
we don't evade tax in Ghana.
No, they evade. Especially with the industries.
No, you see,
there are a lot of manufacturing companies. Their location.
There are types of tax that you evade.
You might not know that they are even there operating. It takes the GRA to do proper search before they will realize that no, there is a company here at a coded location operating sometimes without a certified license, but they are operating. As for taxation, it is good, and Ghana Revenue Authority must up their game in this collection of taxes, because if you don't collect tax, how can we develop the state?
Right.
So, Rosalind, tax, I support any measures that we can use to get our tax recorded and make sure we make revenue to develop the country. Because tax evasion is quite criminal, and as he's saying, a lot of people make a lot of money non-recordable. There's something you have to also know. In the night market, you see, anytime you see there, you see somebody connecting light from another angle and come and put it there.
Illegal.
Has it paid electricity bill? That's a question. So Paying tax is not a problem. Tax evasion is a major problem. That's why we are saying that Ghana, our tax to GDP is only 14%. And I think that if we are able to even record 30% of our tax revenue, tax to GDP, we'll be able to make a lot of revenue from it. But Rosen, the problem is that when the tax comes, what is Operator going to use it to do?
To build a company, to build the country.
To build which country?
This country.
That's the problem.
We are building the country.
So the problem is that when the
don't
tax...
forget that we have Agenda 111 we are building.
No, Rosalie,
don't forget that we have so many things that we are doing.
I understand, Rosalie.
So you saying that what will Oforiatta use it for? It's as though we are not doing anything. We've seen the motorway being constructed, the new one. We've seen a lot of roads happening.
President John Mahama took $90 million from JICA to construct that.
But there's construction ongoing now. We've seen the Trade Fair Road, the Labadi stretch being constructed. So when you say what you will use the money for?
Secured them before they came.
Junction but secure that funds.
Anyway, gentlemen, yes.
So
you have 30 seconds.
Yes, so the young girl that was very furious of why she picked us is because she feels that when he picks her, some of the money will be Auntie bedroom.
No, but this is very unfair.
But do you know where Auntie Sisi got the money from? Richard Manuribi. Richard, I mean, you know what? Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. I'm very grateful. On the ticket of the NPP has been Jesse Boako, who represented the NPP this morning, and the man who represented the NDC this morning is Richard Manuribi. Thank you so much for watching the News Flash segment.